Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Memwako aba edeba PENDREAM TV so me so say any day they can awhwe na obe subscribe to channel no click bell so say the news to on service aka no watie. Randy Abbey na woni Richard Ahiagba communication director edema MPP. Akla show good morning Ghana so efa debt exchange program aban we edeba na Randy Abbey H0T mo say aban no anya consultations ye na no na Richard Ahiagba anti ase na kasapa our studios wa Randy Abbey H0T mo Richard Ahiagba ti ase say aban no anya de woni ema bi audit to efa debt exchange program no ho men kasa bebre na heated argument pa enya sempeto amepese beko no kwanya Randy Abbey efa so the school Richard Ahiagba our debt exchange program so yonko video no.
This is how I take it, and sometimes I like to look at the spirit of the law. Now there's a reason why the framers of the constitution ask for some decisions to be taken by the representatives of the people. Now if you're going to do something like what we're doing and the kind of impact and effect that is going to have on this country, don't we think that we ought to have a forum that goes beyond just a portion of the executive dealing with this issue? Because of the implications that it has.
So I agree with that in principle, but then
when we are taking loans and we say that some of these loans will be repaid within 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Obviously, they have implications. We are imposing things on the state. We ought to know. Now, these things were approved with a certain tenor and all those things. Now, we go to change them completely, and therefore the implications become different. How do we then say that, as for those ones, we shouldn't have the same level of scrutiny?
So I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying that whether or not it's binding and required.
That can be another argument.
Yes, so that's really what I'm saying. But for purposes of daylight,
even transparency.
For purposes of daylight, if they want to bring it, then that's fine. But you see, the 2017, 2018, 2019, you had an economy growing on average 7%. Then 2020, in fact, that economy attained, by IMF's own rating, the fastest growing, amongst the fastest growing in the world. And then in 2020, you had a global pandemic on whose back the economy faltered. And so you had your economy retracting from that high 6.5 in 2019 to about 0.5% in 2020. You got some relief built back in 2021, about 5.36 in 2021. And then in 2022, you have another global incident, though it's between two countries, has global effect. Russia-Ukraine happened, disrupted global supply chain, impacted cost of living, energy costs skyrocketed, and therefore created consequences, economic consequences for the entire globe, not only Ghana. That puts you in a certain situation, and as a country, you have to go to seek support from the IMF. That is brought about some policy consequence on you. I want to ask H0T, though you made a factually incorrect statement earlier to say that you guys cautioned the government against going to the IMF. That's factually not correct. From the outset, you, the NDC, were the ones saying that, oh, go to IMF, go to IMF, go to IMF.
No, you are not getting the point.
No,
I got
it. You effectively said that you cautioned us and we didn't listen. Okay? So inherently, you're saying that you're cautioning us against IMF, which is factually incorrect. Now, what would you do? Okay? You are thrust into a situation. Which situation inherently is beyond your control. By design, your economy was on a path of growth. Then you are encountered with this headwind that then derailed all the gains that you've made. And I'm yet to be convinced by anybody to say that Ghana's economy would have grown or retracted in 2020 if all factors were held constant that obtained in 2019 and in 2018 and 2017. If all those factors were held constant, I'm yet to be convinced by the NDC to say that our economy would have retracted in 2020.
That doesn't happen in any economy.
I'm saying yes, but I'm saying that. So then in that sense then you account for what happened in 2020, which then
see, your competence is tested, demonstrated, and appreciated in abnormal times.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. See, so
yes.
So what you are saying almost is that because you are what is called.
See, I didn't want to. We've gone back and forth on this issue of the performance of the economy before, so that's what I don't.
Well,
I don't want
those
to
numbers
go
are not arguable.
into, yes, okay. I don't want to go into.
They are not. They are not. Okay.
How can you
if they are if they are arguable, then it means all our numbers are arguable, are subject to debate
no, you
from
see,
day one.
Our issue really has to do with our debt situation.
No, but I'm saying
it is.
Yeah, so
we're only doing debt restructuring because of our debt.
No, see that. So just hold on for 1 second.
That in spite of all the things that the central bank did for this economy,
yes,
we still had to go and do a debt restructuring. But the problem that we refuse to acknowledge is the unsustainable debt pattern that we had established and which was clear by 2019.
But serious, no.
That's the issue.
No.
It's not the issue of we're growing at A and growing at B.
But growing at A, actually
we are on an IMF program, Chief. We are on an IMF program because of our unsustainable, our debilitating debt situation.
No.
It is what it is.
No. So I agree with you. You can make that
argument. It's the interest payment. We couldn't pay it.
No. But
that's why we declared default.
In what situation were we not able to pay the debt? We paid our debt in 2017, in 2018, 2019, 2020 we got into a headwind.
Yes.
That headwind created a situation which brought about that unsustainability that you're talking about.
Because revenues.
Yeah, but no, it's not about revenues. You see, to take revenue is a product, it's a function of production.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So in 2020, with the economy growing at 5.5%, essentially means that your economy, you didn't produce.
No, but you forget, right? you forget that your projections for 2020, you made them in 2019. You forgot it.
No, you see, so when you are just looking at the revenue angle, right, you won't get to how much of that revenue comes from production, right?
You should tell me.
Yes. So I'm saying that you have essentially lost production in that 2020. And it takes a period. I agree with you. But it takes a period to recover from an economy that went from 6.5% to 0.5%. If you don't appreciate that, okay, then you will make the point to say that.
I'm not saying that is not an issue. I am not saying.
Yes. So if that is an issue, how do we address that issue?
I am telling you that the reason why we have suffered and are suffering more than many other people also affected by all the things that you speak about is because of our unsustainable debt accumulation trajectory. That is the problem. And even as of 2019, the signs were there. We have the problem that we have as against other countries because of our debt situation. So
we've always had debt situations. Okay?
But not at this level.
No, but you see, unless you are able
not
to...
Not at this level.
Martini, I agree with you.
Never in our history, Richard, never in our history,
at
least in the last 40 years or so, has interest payment, not plus amortization, just interest payment, being the number one expenditure.
But
never.
It used to be salaries and...
never.
Hold on. But you see, never in our history have we had COVID-19.
What did
never
in our
history
contribute to interest payment becoming number one? How did it?
But I'm telling you, it's a
before COVID came.
Yes.
No, I think you need to clarify.
Yes. No, Edwige.
That interest payment and amortization was higher than salaries and statutory payment before COVID came. So explain that with the aid of diagrams.
So I'm.
He can't apply diagrams. Maybe with the aid of sign language.
Yes, maybe. Do that.
But you're just giving me an impossible situations to meet. But so on balance, right?
Yes.
What we need to recognize is that certain catastrophic events have happened. And those events have led to a difficult situation with the economy. I will not agree. We can go back and forth. See, when we finish, let's go down to the bar and have a conversation about
bar.
It. No, the restaurant. thank you for bringing that to the restaurant.
Now, if your acquisition is going to be affected.
I'm talking about the H Cafe, so we can deal with the issue. Because what I want you to convince me with is to say that this economy has been mismanaged.
I can only convince you of it. So no. But we need to go.
Yes. Okay. So the point I want to make is that yes, certainly this economy we got into a headwind. We've gone over it. The economy is returning. We're seeing growth return. We're seeing the currency stabilize. Where we were in 2022, I think close of the year, the currency completely faltered. But now we are in a stable place. I think between February 2023 till now, it's just been depreciated just about 4%, 4.7%, around about that 5%. Inflation from a high of 54.1 in December 2022 is now down to about 23.2%. So there is macro stability is being gained, and the economy going forward, I believe, that is going to get on a much stabler path. What I think that is necessary is the discipline that has brought us here, but I don't agree. Okay, anytime the NDC, they have a case where they say, oh, government must be disciplined, must exercise austerity and all of these things. Government spending itself is part of fiscal policy to stimulate the economy. And so generally when we do those, we need to be specific on what items we are referring to that government must be austere. Because part of policy to drive the economy forward includes government spending also to drive the economy.
Okay, we need to.
The last point I want to make.
Conversation with the Minerals Commission this year is starting this morning.
Okay, yes. So just one small point. On the VAT, I think electricity, VAT on electricity. I have a firm understanding that may not necessarily apply because there are some practical constraints on ECG's side in implementing that policy. So I think
that's not what we want to hear.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, but
government has decided not to implement it.
Well, that may be equal to that, but I'm just saying that the practical constraint will not. So consumers can rest assured and looking at their bills to see that it will not come on, so that the doom that H0T is predicting.
But is H0T the one who announced?
No, he's just dramatizing. He's dramatizing.
Randy, just 30 seconds. You see, Randy, what?
When you go to a flower, you tell them that 22% of the electricity is nothing.
It's nothing.
A workplace to slap your face.
Well, I didn't say it's nothing. I say it won't happen.
You say, Randy, 30 seconds.
May not happen. Yeah.
30 seconds. You see, if you are expecting something useful in this year, remember that the total amount government intends to spend is in excess of 200 billion. Government total revenue, even expected this year, is supposed to be 176.
Yes.
So even for business people who are thinking of even going to borrow to do their business, government is going to compete with them because government needs to.
But we've been running a deficit for a while. So.
Agreed. But what I'm saying is that quantum-wise, we need about 50 billion to close the gap this year. And so if you have that situation,
I mean, if you look at the the treasury bill market, you understand what's happening.
But you know how H0T is behaving.
Yes.
Wearing white. I think black. I don't know what color they're going to wear.
I said it's
but he's sitting here acting like a fan in the stars.
He has decided to undermine my position. But you see, Randy, bottom line is that this raft of taxes are going to impose additional hardship on Ghanaians.
So the Honourable John Jinapro says that the external debt was approved by Parliament with terms and conditions. Now, if the government decides to vary the terms by deciding to extend the duration of repayment beyond the original tenure, I think Parliament must approve the new terms.
No, but I think that's an arguable position to say that it's not explicit. It's not a requirement. We haven't been here before. I'm not sure if we've been here before. So it can be.
You have done too many.
No. I'm just saying.
Okay. Somebody says I should ask you if we borrowed the unsustainable debt levels. If we borrowed because of COVID.
Anticipation.
But
Oh no, he's been testing me.
He's been testing you.
Yeah, he's been diabolical.
So he sent you the quotation. It says that you want to put tax on quotation, yet you want to go to the bar.
We are not going to the bar. We are going to the restaurant.